Hey everybody, Taskmaster here, back with Marvel Heroes, and we got Taskmaster up. It was a sneak release; they didn't even put him on the patch notes, and so I'm just going to do my release day review of him, give a cursory look, and first peruse. He's basically a combination of four existing characters. It looks like a couple new abilities on him, and he will get a little bit more durable, semi-tanky, I guess. His fighting skill will go up pretty high, up to the unearthly level. That'll give him definitely some ability to take some damage with that durability. So that's a good thing. On his abilities here, I'm going to start with the right side because it really kind of clues into how it's working here. We got this flawless emulation here, and it gives you defense and dodge rating. Defense and dodge rating +4 for 10 seconds when you hit with a captain or daredevil power. And then you get damage and crit rating, and damage and crit rating again for 10 seconds when you hit with an archer or spidey power. So right there it's telling you it's Captain America, Daredevil, Archer, which would be Hawkeye, and Spider-Man, all thrown together. Which for some reason I just don't recall Taskmaster having Spider-Man's abilities, but I guess I could be wrong. Maybe they were in a series that I just missed. And the Archer, I'm not 100% sure about him shooting the bow either. Captain America, I definitely get the crisscross, and Daredevil, I guess I could see with the martial arts aspect, but I don't remember him using a cane either, and we'll get into that in a second. But so he's got these passives, which are stances, kind of like night crawlers, except what's very nice is you actually get to use two stances, and you can pick and choose between them. So we got Hawkeye stance, which is plus attack speed, plus damage rating, plus brutal strike rating, and a 25% chance to deal 34 damage twice per second for 3 seconds. I don't know if the damage or the percent chance goes up per point spent. I imagine the damage does. Don't know if the chance does. Captain America's, the Impervious Soldier, gives you a 5% chance to block attacks, maximum health, regenerate health per second, and a 26% chance when you hit to ignore the next 19 damage received within 3 seconds. So the fact that this is a little higher is A, probably bugged, and B, maybe it does indicate a possibility of going higher. The Fearless Acrobat is Daredevil's, gives you a dodge chance, damage rating with melee powers, tenacity, and a 25% chance to restore health on hit. Very interesting there. Amazing Web Slinger, this is obviously Spider-Man's passive, gives you movement speed, projectile evasion, maximum spirit, and a 25% chance to restore 1 spirit on hit. Which is kind of interesting because I don't know if Spider-Man actually has that ability at all. I don't remember. And then finally you get your CC immunity for 1.5 seconds on a 15-second cooldown, the classic PvP ability. Deadly Marksman. This is going to be your ranged tree. Very interesting at the start. The ranged and the melee passives or basics all seem to do about the same damage. If not, the actual ranged attacks do more, leading me to believe that a range build will probably be a lot more viable than a melee build. So even with missile dampening, you can stand toe-to-toe in melee range and just fire off and get more damage out there. I'll have to test this out at much higher levels. It seems melee's getting the shaft. Definitely taking that from Black Panther's 52 review. He got shafted with melee. It looks like they want you to go ranged with Taskmaster as well. But you got a 45 caliber. That's his basic level 1 ranged fighting ability. It's actually a fighting tag, so fighting power is going to add to this. Very interesting. Physical damage all around, it appears, except for this, which is tear gas, which, just like Hawkeye, gets screwed up and it goes to energy. Don't know why. Deadly Volley, this is basically like a fan of arrows, I'm going to guess. I haven't seen it in action, but I believe it is a fan of arrows. But this will be an AoE attack. Spider-Man's basic level 1 ability there. Web Spray, Web Net, same thing, with a snare to attack and movement speed for 5 seconds, and a vulnerability where they take more damage. Very interesting. Hawkeye's triple shot, or actually I should say triple tap, 3-round burst. Same thing here, with deals extra damage to bosses, elites, and champions. Same rate of fire, it's the same skill. Very interesting. Spidey swing, same thing. Move around, kick them, and get some movement speed for 10 seconds. His second dual wield here is actually just dual 45s. And I believe it'll probably attack faster as you put points into it. Not 100% sure, but this is going to be Black Widow's attack as well. And then, of course, Tear Gas Arrow is just like Hawkeye's AoE, and it weakens enemies, and it does damage over time, and screws the entire kit up by being energy damage, the only energy damage out there. Web Cocoon snares and mobilizes an enemy that's hit by it. Interesting, I suppose. You know, some of these skills I don't like on the standard character that has them, so that's why I'm like, interesting, I suppose. His basic Foe Slayer melee attack. An interesting aspect of this is it increases in damage with the more missing spirit you have. Instead of health, it's going off of spirit. That is definitely new, so we'll see how that works. Anti-heroic charge. You know, it's a good name. And by charging around, you get to negate 10% extra damage for 10 seconds. That's like Captain America's old ability there. Or Spider-Man's. So that's definitely a nice little ability to have. That's probably going to be my go-to move. Anything that I can negate damage, I'll take. Daredevil's spam, triple cane, same thing right here. Dismember, 3 shots, very, very slow attack speed, but each shot gains more and more power, and then it resets. Rebounding shield, Captain America's shield throw. This will bounce to up to 8 targets total, and it leaves a dot on them. Very nice. Seize, it's a devil power, and basically, you know, grabs an enemy and pulls it towards you. His second basic attack now restores spirit with a sword swing. Shield crush. I believe this is like Shield Assault, where you jump up in the air, or Leaping Assault was it Captain America's, you leap up in the air and throw the shield down. Could be wrong. Has an increased damage to bleeding targets. Don't recall seeing a bleed on the kit at all. So that's actually, if I guess the shield throw here, rebounding shield, I guess that counts as a bleed. We'll have to see. And hopefully it does make use of this shield crush even more, because it gets 50% extra bonus damage to bleeding targets. And then finally, Cyclone Club, Daredevil's Whirlwind. Stand still and spin your clubs. And it slows 20% movement and attack speed for 3 seconds to everything that it hits. And then going over to his signature, which is action. You pretend to be making a commercial. But actually what happens is you get damage rating, critical and brutal strike rating, critical and brutal strike damage rating, defense and tenacity, attack and movement speed, +1 to all ranks and powers, +1 to all attributes, It lasts for 12 seconds and it's on a 1-minute cooldown. Costs actually 30 spirit. I don't know why they have these things cost spirit. I mean, it's supposed to be a signature move on a 1-minute cooldown. Why 30 spirit? I don't know. It does seem interesting, seems cool. It doesn't look like it buffs everybody else, but it is an area, so maybe it does. Doesn't say. But that's definitely a lot of buffage. 12 seconds is rather short, but could be cool. And then his ultimate is Field Exercise. This sounds pretty good too. It's a summon. And the summons have 400% of Taskmaster's defense and health. And there's an Enforcer that does home run damage, a Riot Squad that does bash damage, a Rifleman which does barrage damage, and a Demolitionist that does satchel charges. Apparently, I'm going to assume these summons get bonus damage against elites of plus 50%. And 20% damage negated, and a plus damage against yellows and blue. Well, the first one was blues, then yellows, a plus 100% base damage and 40% damage negated. I don't know if that's U2. I hope bosses count as yellows also. That doesn't say. It's very unclear. We're going back to the old tooltips that really don't clue you in onto half the things that are going on with the skill. Probably because they are rushing a lot of quantity of stuff out and the quality is suffering. This is probably why Black Panther needed so many adjustments and will probably get so many more adjustments because they didn't get enough of them in there. And now we know what happened. They actually had a third character on the board on their headquarters, and Strange probably took up a majority of it. It is Stan Lee's favorite character, so he probably held them to a much higher standard on Doctor Strange, and that's probably why he's so good. And that's probably what happened to poor Black Panther. And probably why Taskmaster is more of a combination of 4 characters thrown together. Seems interesting. Some of it's definitely pretty cool. I like these double passives that you get to pick through. However, are you really going to throw 20 points into all 4 passives so you can pick and choose when you pick, do them? I don't think so. So it's also going to make it a little bit more difficult to see how you're going to do it. So I'll have to let you know when I get them to 60. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it helps. 200 Splinter character, not bad. Yeah, I'll talk to everybody later.